Hello everyone, this is Calvin Professor C here. So if this is the first time you watch my channel, first go to hit the subscribe button, and at the end of the video, if you like it, just hit the like button. So today I am going to go back to teach you some sales technique, and in particular, how to sell me this pen. Well, not necessarily this pen, but if you know how to sell me a pen, then you probably know how to sell me anything. And that's what we are going to do. We are going to teach you how to sell anything. So first of all, there are a lot of sales video out there, sales coach, sales everything, okay? So I'm not going to go into detail because I'm going to, give you some brief idea about selling, but more importantly, how this applies to your mortgage business. That's more important, okay? So first, let me give you some basic about selling. And the first basic rules about selling is people don't buy into something, they buy out of something. What that means is they don't buy, say for example, a drill. They don't want to buy a drill. They basically want to buy a hole in their wall. Okay, they want to buy a hole in their wall. They don't buy a mortgage. They don't buy a mortgage. They don't come to see you to get a mortgage. They come to see you to get their dream house. They want something out of it. Correct? Do you agree with me? Right? So make sure you keep that in mind. They don't come in to get their mortgage, even though you're in the mortgage business and you know all the features and benefit about it, but that's not how you sell it, right? The second, basic rules about selling is people don't buy based on feature and fact. They buy based on their emotion. They buy based on their emotion. So, like anybody can get a mortgage. Anybody can get your kind of mortgage, right? There are a lot of bankers, mortgage brokers, a lot of it out there, right? So why do they come to see you? Why do they come to see you? Why do they need to come to see you? A lot of the reason behind that is because of emotion. Okay, maybe they trust you more. Maybe they, have a same common interest with you. Maybe they are referred by someone else that is close to them. So, someone close to them refer you to them. Okay? So, but remember, features and benefit don't help you sell anything. You have to create the emotion, right? And lastly, people don't buy products, but they buy stories. Again, the stories help create the emotion. So those are some of the basic rules about selling. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you know those. If you do not know it and you learn something, good for you. You go and practice it. Now, how that's apply to the mortgage industry, right? I just gave you a few examples, but I want you to know one thing first, and I want you to make clear of one thing, because I find that a lot of people come to, learn from my learning classes, and they come from all sorts of learning background, and they have a lot of sales experience, but they do not know who their customer is. They do not know who their customer is. And you will think, oh, really? The people who are coming to you for a mortgage would be your customer, correct? Personally speaking, I do not think so. Personally speaking, I do not think so. I think the real customer that we need to sell to is the referral source, is the center of influence, is the real estate agent, is the real estate lawyer, is the accountant, is the investment advisor. I think those are more of my client than the actual client that is borrowing the mortgage, to be honest. Those people would, if they trust you, if you sold down, they would refer clients to you. They would refer those borrower to you. And those borrower, you just, of course, you need to do a good job with them. Of course, you need to follow them up. Of course, you need to return their phone call. But they come to see you because the referral source sent them to you. And as long as you did a good job with them, you get them approved you in an efficient way, then in the future, I think they become your real client because they become your referral source. But at the beginning, I wouldn't say they are my real client. My real client is my referral source. You need to sell to them because there are so many mortgage brokers out there. There are so many bankers out there. Why they have to refer their client to you? Okay, so first, I think you need to make sure one thing, you need to know who is your client. Okay, then you need to apply all this principle to sell them, right? You need to get their attention. You need to get them emotion about you, right? And you need to help them get them what they want out of it, right? So for example, if you walk by Tim Horton and you see a lot of real estate agent signing contract in Tim Horton, hey, there's a potential client, right? You need to get their attention, right? You either do an excellent elevator speech, maybe when they're leaving, when they sit down, when they're waiting for the client. You practice your elevator speech, and if you don't know what is elevator speech, you could check out some of my other video, and I can explain to you. But you get them attention. Some people, they don't practice their elevator speech, but they have something that is attractive to them. If you see some of the realtor, they have their pin that said they're platinum award winner. They have Century 21 or Remax logo there. Those create conversation. Those are icebreaker items, right? When people see them, they say, "Oh, are you a realtor?" "Yes, I am." And in that case, I want to, how is the market, right? People see them, they actually initiate conversation with them. So if you are a mortgage broker, maybe you have a logo for Mortgage Alliance, for Centum, for whatever. Maybe you have some pin for your, for award winner or something like that. You have a pen that said you're, top 5% of the CIBC or whatever. Those, why do they have those kind of promotional item? Because those would create conversation, and once you get their attention, then you try to understand them in the shortest time you require. You ask them question, you ask them what kind of problem they have or in their industry have. For example, right now you can ask them, "Oh, do you have a lot of clients that got declined by the mortgage broker or the bank last minute, and then the deal fell through?" Ask them, right? There are a lot of those happening right now, and those are some of the more common pain points that real estate agents have, right? You ask them, you get their attention, and then they might say, "Yeah, actually, just in the last month, I have 2 of my clients that got declined at the end, very close to closing date, and at the end has to close with a private mortgage," right? So those are the pain point in their industry, right? I'm just making one example for you, but there are a lot, right? And then you have to help them solve that problem. You may tell them, "Oh, yeah, right now the mortgage industry is not as easy to approve as before, but hey, that doesn't mean that we don't get people approved. So far this month, I've approved 10 deals with 0 decline, no last minute surprise and all that," right? So you demonstrate that you can solve their problem, okay? And you just give them stories. Those are the stories, right? You tell them that, you give them some testimony. You tell them that, I used to work in the bank for 10 years, for 20 years, for 15 years, for 5 years, it doesn't matter. I used to be in the top 5% of the bank mortgage advisor. Tell them something that, that make them confident about you. And, a lot of the time, if you do all this in a short period of time, you can actually sold a client. That means you can actually gain a referral source in a very short amount of time. Often I'm just, I got real estate agent in the Tim Horton and all that, in a lunch function, in a meet and greet, in a networking event. You get real estate agent, referral source, lawyers, and all that in a matter of couple, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on how good you are. But those are some of the sales techniques that I think is relevant in the mortgage industry, right? So let me recap. First of all, people don't buy into something, they buy out of something, usually out of a tough situation. So that means you need to know their pain point and get them out of it, okay? Then people buy based on emotion, not facts and feature. If you notice that how I sell the real estate agent, I do not say that, "Oh, my mortgage is the lowest rate, my mortgage can let you double up on payment and all that." No, I don't talk about features. I don't talk about benefit, right? Don't talk about those. Those are for the people, for the borrower. But your client right now is the realtor, is the referral source, right? So get them emotional, get them to, in sync with your emotion, okay? Then give them the story, the testimony, make them trust you, right? They have to trust somebody. They can't, and at the first time, just like you go into the restaurant, if there are 5 restaurants in front of you, each of them you have never tried before. So which one do you try? Which restaurant would you go into? I think you just look at the sign, maybe the lineup. Oh, this one has so many lineup, that one has no customer in it. There are something that makes you want to try one of the 5 restaurants. Which one? right? Same thing. You are a mortgage broker. They haven't tried you. They haven't referred any customer to you before. You need to do something to let them understand that, oh, let me give Calvin my next deal. See how he works with my client. Maybe if it is good enough, maybe I will refer the next client to them, and then I will refer more of my client to them. Okay? But the first time you have to create emotion to let them know that, oh, I am trustworthy, I'm professional. Okay? So I hope you learned something, and if you like the video, just click the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will have weekly mortgage training video on YouTube every single week, right? Because this channel is to help new mortgage clients make more money faster. Okay? So see you next week.